he's creating the most incredible vibe. And what we're really seeing is they're right now in this pivot of knowing that the restaurant's kind of being put over there, and the Zinzino business is now coming into a huge focus for them, which is just so powerful to see. For me, we are welcomed 365 days of the year to their home, which is just like an absolute retreat for us. So thank you for that. His faith for freedom and his success drives him daily. Please welcome Director Fitz.
Particular tune that was there, some of you may know it. But before I go into my slides, 36 years ago, it was 1987, I was 22 years old, and I was an amateur boxer, and I was pretty good. And I got beat a couple of times. Well, I got beat by one person twice. At some point, and once a TKO. He battered me. Really battered me. So I decided to follow him from welterweight to middleweight. Some people said I was stupid, but I was cocky. I had so much energy. I didn't want to lose again to someone who was small, but we got on well with him. I really, really wanted to get back in that ring after I'd lost, because I was a sore loser, but the confidence I had oozed all the time. Albert Hall, as in Bolton Albert Hall, it was packed, absolutely packed. And I remember the fight, the fourth round, I put him down twice. He got stopped on a TKO. Can you imagine how I felt? I connected my why, I connected my purpose, I connected my vision of winning, the vision of doing things. Now I'm working with a coach outside of the business to bring that back, because when you understand when I entered my 30s and 40s and then 3 decades, most of the time we're walking around hanging on the hedge, on the cliff edge, and we've got a backpack on us with a parachute, and we never jump to deploy. We don't jump. And why? Because sometimes we detach ourselves from what we really are, our values. Our values are key. Without that, I'm sorry, Zinzino will not work. Your whys is you, personally. So I'm going to flick through this presentation, and I want to really get you guys to think about what is important to you. The road to diamond is you. Zinzino giving you an amazing platform. And that platform, you have to start learning. And I'm going to go through from your core values and a little bit of homework. But the homework is for you. I pinched this off the course that I'm doing at the moment. And if you want to read it out loud with me, read it out loud. To be wealthy, you must get rid of old beliefs and to create a business that delivers. You must understand consistently applying yourself. To think otherwise is literally delusional and just keeps your wheels spinning. And it may result of you telling yourself that this business doesn't work. When in truth, it's us. It's you. Because we're not applying ourselves to the things that all these speakers have coming up. Everything that's been given to us, we're not applying for that. But before we even go and learn the compensation plan, before we go and learn anything else, it has to be about us. It has to be about us. So let me just jog your memory about some core values for yourself. You know, that's some fundamental principles. Always will be, always have been. And to try and get them back, you've got to probably think about When was the last time you felt fulfilled? When was that last time you have done something? Was it with family? Was it being creative? Was it with helping people, charity? When is that what it gives you that sense of achievement? Now, my wife, who's standing over there now, she's going through the same course. And hers was about being creative. If you took this amazing lady, put her in a box, no sunshine, no trees, no creativeness, she will shrink. She will shrivel. That is one of her core values. Then you've got to probably think about, how did he make you feel? How did you, if we can turn the clock back to 1987, how do you think I felt when I won? Where do you think my belief in myself was? Pride, proud, I was just buzzing. You know? I satisfied something. I felt amazed. I really did. Think of the moments when you have that fulfillment, because it's going to give you some interest into your own values. Self-reflect. We have to understand and challenge ourselves with self-reflection. Examine your values, your passions. What are they? Ask yourself what truly motivates you. Really, really ask yourself what truly motivates you as an individual. Ask yourself why you joined Zinzino. Was you dragged in? Why did you join Zinzino? What hope did you have of coming into this industry? Whether it was the first time, the second time, what was it? Because that's some part of your values are clicking there. It really is. One way to get a little bit of value and some feedback, and I'm going to point this to Shan to come back to me later on. I'm going to ask you a question. And that question is, ask a long-term friend, why are you in their life? Shan, I'm going to ask you, but I want you to come back to me in a private time. What have I brought to your life? Why am I part of your circle? Why? Because when a friend really gets past, oh, he's a nice lad, pat him on the back and all that kind of stuff, they will tell you things that you may have forgotten. And it's so important that you get that feedback, because something can click for you with the values you're looking for, because your values are connected to your why. Examine your role models. Mine change quite often, but when I'm on a mission, my mission is Zinzino, to get to the top. I don't want to be director, I want to be president. So I need to make sure I get that vertical cord up and really get that parachute going and jump off that cliff. But I'm only going to do that when I connect all my values to my whys. These are the people who are actually guiding me face to face. My faith, I found my faith back. Shan and Dave have helped me with that. That's been a gap for the past 3 decades for me. You've got Marco. If anyone has never been out with Marco, when he's off stage and he brings that wine, 200, 300, 400 pounds, you know you're worth something from him. And for me, when you look at one of my other coaches on there as well, my boys mean something to me. They've got their ups and their downs in life, but they inspire me. There's something from them, and that youth, that can give me my values. And then there's me, of course, because I look at myself all the time. Am I doing this right? Sometimes I beat myself up too much. But you've got to understand, evaluating yourself and how your growth, what you're doing, it's a bit like our tests. 120 days, we take it again. But we have to actually look at ourselves. Why are we growing? Why are we growing? What are our values connected to? And then, my amazing wife over there. I got married in September. Well, I'm going to blow up now. I got married in September to this amazing lady, and I promised her one thing. I'm going to create an environment for her to create her own beliefs and be happy. And I'm going to do that. My catering isn't going to do that. I love our business, but it's not going to give me the freedom that I'm looking for as an individual. So what are these people's qualities? What are their values? And most of all, will you see some insight for your journey? Because you're not going to do this on your own. Ask questions. Ask the people. If you think you're going to do this on your own, you're delusional. Like that thing said, you cannot do this on your own. And it's got to be people who's going to give you some form of value and be honest with you. And I think I've got them here. and the books I read and how they treat me. It's really important you understand your core values is going to drive your whys. Let's consider your strengths and abilities. Ask yourself these questions. If it's to do with our business here, the presentation, compensation plan, recruitment, product knowledge, it could be none of the above. It could be people, it could be none of the above. But what is it? What makes the strengths that you've got? Your friend who you've asked that question about what do they think of you, they may tell you some of your strengths and your abilities. But because we've still got that rucksack on, with that parachute, and we're still hanging off that cliff, we're too scared to jump. We're too scared of making another mistake. And this could be actually something for you, and I'll sort of say to social media, going ahead of it, right, on none of the above. But please, evaluate yourself every single day. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do to move up? What do I need to change my mindset to get to the field that I need to stick to my core values and find them? Fears and emotions, what are they? What makes you fearful about things? You know, what makes you angry? Upset, why? Because you've got to understand what's your connection point when you step over that line. What is it that makes you fearful of things? What is it that makes you angry of things? Anxious. I was anxious coming up with beer, but it's something I'm working on to get out of my comfort zone. Because your emotions will be an indicator to some of your values. It will, so important now. It really is. Your connections. Your values will connect to your why. Without knowing your values, your why is going to be pretty tough. Pretty tough. You've heard some great stories up here. They may not have said it was their values, but they were. That's what they anchored on to move this business from one job to the other. The crazy thing about this industry is this. We're taking someone from a job that they've been told what to do every single day. And now they've got to think for themselves. The question you've got to ask yourself is, if they've never been in a position like that they've got to start asking questions for themselves, doing things for themselves, we need to connect them with their values and whys. It will help them move up this compensation ladder. It makes them more receptive to actually learn the compensation plan, come to the meetings. Your why will connect to your purpose, to drive. Your purpose will elevate your goals with meaning and clarity. Meaning and clarity. Meaning and clarity will make your why real. It will make that you can touch it, feel it, you can see it, you can visualize it. Why? That word means so many different things. Who's got a goal board or a dream board? Now, when I first did my dream board, I can remember Dave was coming to my house, and I didn't have a bit of a scrap, and I just put it off the wall, notice it, put it up. It had no meaning. I just put it in to impress him. It had no meaning whatsoever, because I wasn't connected to it. So, I started reevaluating, getting some emotions, what I really, really wanted. What was my value? What did I want? And one of my values is home. And I've shown some of the guys, this is the house. Oh, sorry, it's going the wrong way. So, we're going the wrong way. That is my value because I'm a relationships man. I like a ring on my finger. I like to be called husband. You know? I like my feet grounded on the floor, but I can still fly. I've got enough strength to carry this lady wherever she wants to go to. She is my rock, and she's my star, and she'll actually push me when I need to be pushed. This is my house. Not my house now. Not yet. This is my house. But the connection I have with that is this. It's 19 miles away from my home at the moment. It's in a valley. It's got a fishing lake going through it. There's 9.7 acres of it. There's got 2 3-bedroom cottages on the property. It's a 1/4 mile long driveway. That's been on the market since 2021. Someone tells me it's waiting for me. Someone tells me it's waiting for me. I see my barbecues there. I see inviting my team there for incentives. That's what I want. That is clarity of me seeing it. If some bugger comes and buys it, I'm going to find another one. But that's what I want. But 2021 it's been on. It's waiting for me. You know? John Maxwell, he once said, there are 4 different seasons when people change. When they hurt enough, they have to. Are you hurting? What is it, your job? Are you fed up with your job? Where is it that you want to go to at this moment in time? When they see enough, they're inspired to. This is what these events are about. When they see enough, they're inspired to. If you're not here on a regular basis, you're not plugging in on a regular basis, you're not connecting your whys and your drive and your values to hear of what you're doing, this should be a priority. You've made it a priority because you're here. So when you go home, keep that priority there for yourselves. When they learn enough, they'll want to. Again, the event, the material, that's what Zinzino and the team around you are producing for you. When they learn enough, they want to. And when they receive enough, they're able to. That's got Fitz and Zoe Spencer on that. That is our dream. That is where we want to be. Here's a little bit of homework for you guys. What's your level of competency at the moment of this? Anything under a 7, you need to work on it. You really, really need to work on this. You know? The pay plan, the back office, your product story, your business. You heard Jay go through his Elevate story. How to market, how to enroll, how to mentor. This is what I'm practicing and doing more of, how to mentor. So I'm contacting Dave and Shan, I'm seeing Dave and Shan, I'm reading what Marco puts up. Has anyone plugged into Marco's podcast? Anyone ready? Anyone listened to it yet? No? Well, I've got 2 people put their hand up. We need to listen to this. I've listened to half of it, it's nearly 2 hours long, we need to plug in. This is free. This is free stuff coming our way.
Where is the podcast?
Yeah, the Randy Gage one. Yeah.
That was one as well. It's always on a podcast in my name.
I see. What level of beliefs are you in this industry? Dave went through on the first day regarding where this industry is going. What's your knowledge of it? That's where you're going to get some of your beliefs, and it's going to help your whys. The company's Zinzino. Do you know the story from? Do you know the story? What story it is? You know, the products, the pay plan, your abilities. Anything under a 7, you need to work on. Really need to work on, because that's the only way your whys and your dreams and your values are going to be elevated to what you really want. Great things never come from comfort zones. You all know this. So we have to come out of our comfort zone. I made a conscious decision at the beginning of this year. I want to get up on stage. I want to do some more meetings. I want to try to learn my technique of being up here. Watching Marco, watching Dave and Sean, watching them develop. Better be seeing them on bloody stage. By the time I get up here and do something, by the time we all have our turn and get up here and do something. Guys, be bold. Really be bold with the things that you want for yourself. Consistently connect your values to your why. Because your why can't live on there on its own. It can't. Your whys have to be connected to something which has got some emotions for you guys, personal to you. Not your dog, your pet, your wife or whatever. It has to be about you first. Refine all the time. You value what you're doing all the time. Never stop learning about yourself. Never, ever stop learning about you as an individual. Never. And actually what you've learned. Does anyone know where this is from? Come on, shout out. Does anyone know where this is from? It's from the Notebook. It's in Zinzino's new mantra. You guys are significant value. You need to put value on yourselves. You need to understand your own value. And this bit here, Zinzino means peace with great value. Guys, you're an amazing value. Understand why you're doing this business. And if they're not connected to your values are not connected to your whys, then your purpose and your goals are meaningless. Your dream board is meaningless. Because if there's no emotion with what you're trying to achieve, it's not going to work. This is an amazing book. It's an amazing book to give people as well. But that is on the front page of this. I'm surprised no one knows it. Because it's the first thing that jumps out to you. It really does. So just remember, guys, because I'm just running over a little bit, your whys are so important. But they have to be connected to some sort of value that you trust in yourself. And it has to be about you as an individual first. Take the jump. Pull that parachute. You're going to make some hefty bumps. You're going to get loads of no's, rejections, scuffs, people laughing, people joking. But you have to make the jump. That when that parachute opens, you start learning, your values start getting closer to you, and all of a sudden, you're learning. You're learning about the business. And when you open a parachute, what happens? It deploys, you go up. You touch diamond. From diamond, you've got the confidence. From diamond upwards to all these speakers that you saw up here who are flying in their own business. Make it count. Be in Oslo and make 2024 the best year you've had in this business. Thank you.